Welcome to Linkronicity, where your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. Today we're going to be talking about linking to your authentic word. And this video is specifically for Sarah W. of Dallas, Texas. Hey Sarah, thanks for writing in. Sarah wants to know how to link to your authentic word. Well, we're going to tackle that today, Sarah, as best as we can. She writes, how can I tell if people are going to let me down or not? I'm sick of fake people and I'm tired of people not keeping their promises. How can I tell whether someone's sincere or not? Help! Well, I guess what you're really asking me to do is do a video on how to spot a liar. I know, it's hard, right? It's tough, Sarah. I know. It's really tough. And today it's even tougher than ever because we don't know if people are just so all over the place and they're busy and they're not intentionally not keeping their word and they're getting distracted from keeping their word, or if they really just are flaky people or not, or if they're not aware half the time of the promises that they're making to actually fulfill them to keep them. I know, that's a lot. That's all over the place, but it's the truth. So here's how we can get a little more in tune with the core of the authentic word. Let's start with you. Let's start with you. Everything begins with us, right? It begins with us. When you make a promise, how do you make your promises? Is it in passing? Is it being very, very direct, looking someone in the eye? Do you actually plan out in your head when you're actually going to fulfill the promise? What is your promise-making process? Okay, ask yourself that. And ask yourself how you go about doing that for other people. That'll give you some insight as to how you receive somebody else's promise. We don't always have to take everyone's word for what it is. Sometimes we just need to ask or nudge, ask for clarity on the word of the matter. So here's kind of an example. Say you're having a conversation with somebody and somebody promises you something. Right then and there, did you know that you have the power to ask them if they really mean it? Now, I know that sounds weird to call someone out on it by saying, do you really mean that? Because you're then questioning their integrity or their authentic word, right? But if you get that clarity up front, then you have a little better chance or odds at making sure that the word is actually authentic. Now, a lot of people say actions speak louder than words, and that's my school of thought for the most part. I kind of wait for people to fail before I call it a failure, if that makes any sense at all. Sometimes that will help you, put you in a better place to understand someone's promises, someone's intention, someone's actions, and how to discern that navigational lane as you gear shift through it. Authenticity begins with who we are and how we communicate. And you may be the most trusting, giving, thoughtful, honest person with the purest heart and intention, and you follow through on your promises. But when that happens to you and you don't have a lot of that happening, and you're the one who's actually promising and delivering, and the other people around you in your life and your sphere are not promising and delivering, now we have a boundaries problem. Okay, and when we address the boundaries problem, then that pretty much sifts out the fray. It sifts out the liars. It sifts out the people who won't get a second chance at, messing up, because you're going to actually have a better filtering system. And that doesn't mean that you shut somebody out or you walk away or anything like that. It just means that you're going to take things with a grain of salt instead of putting your whole heart into believing that the promise is actually going to be fulfilled. And if you give somebody the room to rectify their promise that they didn't follow through or deliver on, apologize, provide the mutual link of forgiveness, maybe there was a misunderstanding, get the clarity of communication in that place, then you have a better scope, you have a better viewpoint of being able to see where this falls short. And when we get a better sense of where it falls short, then we can improve our communication, get a better understanding of what the intention was when it was made in the first place, be able to get the context of the promise. Maybe it was just something nice somebody said to make you feel good. You can actually ask the questions. So you just saying that? Do you really mean that? You know, and ask in a very nice way, and you might be able to get a little more clarity, heads up ahead of time, so you're not always let down. You're not always put in the position of feeling let down or disappointed or feeling failed. And you're not also putting the other person in a place of expectation to where they're feeling like a failure because they didn't deliver, because they didn't understand really how to heart you took the promise, because there was really not an agreement there. It was just a conversation. See what I mean? Do you see how I'm talking about the authentic word here? It helps if we're all honest and truthful from the very beginning, from the time words leave our mouth. If we're authentic with our truth and come from a place of understanding our core being of who we are in our purest form. And if we can start with that, then we have authentic communication. We have authentic communication, then we have an authentic word. We have an authentic word, we have an authentic promise. And then, so forth, all of the things linked together. But that's a place to start. You're allowed to question. You're allowed to ask. You're allowed to follow through and follow up. And you're allowed to look internally within yourself to see the kind of company you're keeping and the type of people that you're attracting into your life, so you can then make some adjustments and better boundary setting for yourself, so you're not put in the place of always feeling, disappointed. And that'll help you a lot. That'll help you sift out some of the fakes and get more on the track of purity and people who are being honest and who are actually have authenticity and integrity with who they are. Because you're going to be coming from that place saying, you know what, I don't like to be disappointed, or I want to make sure you really mean that, or are we just talking? When you have that clarity in your communication, then you're put in a better position to understand whose word is actually authentic. I'm Stacey Kumagai, your Linkologist, here to help you link your life. Please be sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Linkronicity, blogspot.com, and go to linkronicity.com for private coaching sessions. I hope you have a wonderful day filled with authentic words.